House Calls.
It's time now for House Calls with the Kingery team of Mountain to Lake Realty.
Keep it here for market insights, featured guests, and answers to your real estate questions.
Here are your hosts, Steve Furrow and Julie Kingery.
Hey, it's House Calls, baby.
Hey, Steve. Happy Saturday. Made it through another week.
Julie, you seem so excited when I say House Calls.
I think you probably say that in your sleep by now.
I have had a little fun with it. I'm still practicing, though.
Good.
Well, this is episode number 2. As you mentioned, this is the second Saturday in which we've been bringing house calls to everybody. But with that being said, Miss Julie, did you have any sort of key takeaways from last Saturday and the information and the experience that we've had here? What you got any takeaways you want to share with the group out there?
It is still a good time to buy a house.
Oh, man, you just never turn it off, do you? No, that's great. That's great. I will tell you that a takeaway I had some people question me a little bit about the associations.
Okay.
And I referenced that in the first segment of the last week's show, and that kind of got some people thinking, I guess I should announce to the world that I am sitting here with royalty.
I don't know about that.
Well, you are the president of the Roanoke Valley Association of Realtors, are you not?
I am. That is true.
Did president and queen, do those two things go together?
Well, I guess if we were in London, maybe, but here in America, we'll stick to just president.
I could really go into a whole lot with that, but we'll leave it alone.
Okay. All right. Want to go ahead and get to your point about what's an association, because I can see it spinning in your head.
I was getting ready to ask. Tell us a little bit about the Roanoke Valley Association of Realtors.
How about before I start there, I'll just let everybody know we are in Rocky Mount, so that kind of puts us on the edge of two different associations. So we are a member of Roanoke Valley Association of Realtors, and we're a member of the Martinsville-Henry County Association of Realtors. So we are part of both, and we can represent in both areas. Steve's going to probably hit a little bit more on what those are, but our associations are a place for agents, so realtors that you work with, to be a member of, and that's how we access the MLS and how we have just some benefits, some things that help us to help you buy and sell a house.
What is MLS?
It's our multiple listing service, and that's where we put your listing. So if you call me to list your house, I will put it in the MLS so that other people, other realtors, all the other third-party websites, our website, all the different places for your house to be seen.
So it's an integral part of the association, and also an integral part in a realtor's life and trying to make sure you got a listing and get that information out there. I get it put in the MLS and put it in there correctly, right?
Correct.
That being said, Julie, we think about those associations. You mentioned we're a member of 2.
Right.
So what would you say, is there an advantage to being a member of multiples?
I think so. That way we can service people in different locations. So if you are in Henry County, we can put your listing in the Henry County MLS and the Roanoke MLS. And same thing with us. I think there's a couple areas of Franklin County and Henry County that overlap. Martinsville address or Bassett is so close. I think that it's just easier to say we could put you in both MLSs so that you can reach more people.
But do you have to be a member of the association to list a property for sale in the area?
You do. You have to be at least a member of their MLS.
So hopefully that gives you a little bit more information on what the associations are. It's one of those things from our standpoint, it doesn't really get discussed a lot in the public. But from my perspective, I dropped that little tidbit last week, and I've gotten several questions, and I think it was something that, maybe we needed to kind of dig into a little bit deeper there. So takeaway for me was, you said great time to buy. I talked about the questions I had gotten from the association or about the association. And we certainly want to remind everybody out there, if you've got questions, we want you to hit us up at 276-629-9999. Text us at that number, and we'll be glad to answer any questions that you might have. Julie, we got just a couple more minutes here before we take a commercial break. What if we were to talk about the market, just to kind of give a quick update, any major changes this week from last week?
I think things are still steady. No major increases, no major decrease. I think it's just still moving steadily along.
And we've mentioned it's still a great time to buy. What would you say for a seller? Is it a great time to sell? If you've got a house to sell on the market or thinking about putting your home on the market, would you say that it's a great time to put your house on the market?
It is. I think it's still a great time to put your house on the market because inventory, although it is increasing a little bit, it is still pretty low compared to what it has been over the last, I'd say 5 years ago, not over the last 5 years, but there's more inventory, but it's still pretty low. So it's still a good time to list. Just make sure you have things in order at your house, which I think we might touch on in the next segment.
And I like to give people just maybe this is a great time to put in a little bit of perspective. We talk about inventory. In 2006, there was about 4,000 homes for sale in the Roanoke Valley Association of Realtors, all right, within their footprint. And if you were to look at what happened in 2020, what that inventory went to, was about 400 homes on the market.
Quite a difference.
And then if you were to look at where we are at today, I don't have the exact number today, but around 1,300 homes for sale in the Roanoke Valley Association of Realtors. And guys, we can do the numbers for the Martinsville-Henry County that association as well, but it's going to be very similar. We are still nowhere near inventory levels that we might have been at pre-COVID.
Right. Things are kind of balancing out, I guess you could say, as far as whether it's a buyer's market or a seller's market because of that.
Well, I think this is a great spot for a quick break, and we'll be back with the question of the week.
House calls.
Buying, selling, moving fast.
The Kingery team delivers results with heart.
We're the local family team that knows this market inside and out and treats every client like one of our own.
Quick closings, strong offers, no nonsense. Whether you're upsizing, downsizing, or just ready for a change, let's make it happen.
The Kingery team, selling real estate 1 yard at a time. Located uptown Rocky Mount at 195 South Main Street. Give us a call at 540-483-5566.
House calls.
All right, we're back. Hey. House calls. Can't resist it, Julie.
We'll never get old. Or will it?
All right, so the question of the week, Julie, is what do I need to do to get my house ready to sell?
Another great question, and something that we're always asked. We might be at the farmer's market and somebody's going to come up to you and ask, what do I need to do? And I would say the first thing, make sure your curb appeal is there.
What's curb appeal?
Well, if you need a refresh on mulch, pull some weeds, pressure wash that front porch, maybe the outside of the house. Sometimes you have some shady spots around the house that some green has grown and you haven't paid attention, but you're getting ready to list your house. I would say walk around it. Walk around the outside. Do your gutters need to be cleaned out? Just anything that when somebody pulls in your driveway, they are just blown away with how good it looks.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that's great. And I think when we talk with prospective sellers, the discussion for me frames around we want to give the prospective buyer the feeling that this home is loved, that it's been cared for. That's what you want to portray. Clean and crisp. Those things are things you're going to talk about with the seller and saying, hey, look, this is what we're looking for. This is what we want to portray to make them. And I know many of you guys out there, you love your home, you look after it, you care for it. We're not telling you to do anything you're not already doing. But that being said, we want to give that feeling. Think about Julie, you've gotten a massage before, right?
I have.
And so when you go in there and you're laying on the table to get started, they've got the lights sort of dim, the music is going, right?
Right.
All right. So they're just kind of setting
the tone.
Setting the tone, setting the stage. That's what we're trying to do here.
Right.
If you're selling your home, that's what we want.
You can never make a second first impression. You always want that first impression when somebody pulls up, you want it to look good. And so I think focus a little bit more on that outside first.
Never make a second first impression.
And then if you move on into to the inside, then you get into, do I need to paint? Do I need to upgrade a bathroom or a kitchen? And sometimes it just depends on the price point that you're trying to get as to how much you do versus how much you declutter and just make the house look good in its current state. Or is it time to change out the green toilet that's in the bathroom? Maybe that's all you need to do. Or change out some vinyl flooring into a a luxury vinyl or something like that. Change out some carpet. Sometimes if carpet looks really run down of a major traffic area. Worn, yes. If you have worn out carpet or animals that have messed up some carpet, you may change out something like that. I don't necessarily think a major kitchen renovation or a major bathroom renovation, when you're trying to sell your house, those aren't necessarily things that I would focus on because you may not get that dollar for dollar value back out of it.
Well, and you bring up a good point, and we need to be very clear. I think when we're thinking about what we need to do to get a home ready to sell, I don't know of any investment out there that you're going to get. If you spend $1, you're going to add $1 to the home value. I don't know anything out there that's really going to do that. I mean, if you go out here and you spend $20,000 on a kitchen remodel, yeah, it's going to add some value, but it doesn't necessarily add $20,000 to the overall value or home price that we're going to be able to sell it for. Those things are very, very rare out there. So, and it has to be a pretty, in my opinion, an extreme situation before I think you see that one-to-one figure. But when you look at like the landscaping or that curb appeal that Julie was talking about, you really kind of get in a situation where, you might spend $1 and that really adds, 75, 80 cents. You're getting that money back. And it also helps with the overall feel and the overall, we're setting that tone, which it's hard to put a price tag on from that standpoint, as far as the buyer coming in and just feeling that warm and fuzzy feeling.
And sometimes when a buyer walks to a home, you want it to look and feel ready to move in. If a buyer walks into your house and they start seeing, oh, I need to replace the carpet, or I need to change this here, or paint, or, there's just, sometimes there's things that start making a buyer think, I'm going to have to spend money to make this the way I want it to be. Those are things that I would focus on when you're getting your house ready to list. Buyers sometimes are going to want to paint regardless of whether you just painted, because they might like a different color. But for the most part, if it looks clean, crisp, decluttered, it's going to make a buyer feel good.
Clean, crisp, declutter. We want to make that buyer feel good. You guys, if you've got questions, there's something you want to find out about, 276-629-9999. Text us. We'll be glad to visit with you. You can reach out to us, kingeryteam.com. We've got multiple avenues on Facebook and Instagram, Kingery Team. Just a quick search, and you'll be able to find us, and we'll be glad to answer any questions, and we'll bring it back here every Saturday.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend
On House Call.
Thanks for listening to House Calls with the Kingery team of Mountain to Lake Realty, with your hosts, Steve Furrow and Julie Kingery. If you have questions about anything discussed on today's show, text us at 276-629-9999. Join us again next Saturday at 9 for more tips, trends, and answers to your real estate questions on House Calls with the Kingery team of Mountain to Lake Realty and Southern Virginia's country station, B99.9.
House Calls.